When I was really young, like my parents told me to play chess, not because like I guess my dad would still say that he didn't think I was like, oh, it's because you're gonna be really good at it. It was to teach me life lessons. I had like a really weird schedule that was working, but I would wake up. So my high school started around 9:15, and I would wake up around like 6 and like look at chess for a bit, do like some homework, and then like go home, try to finish like all my homework before 7. And it was just I don't know how I did that because I don't think I can do that anymore, but I did that for a little bit. Someone told me, to go into every game and just be like, I am Jennifer Yu, or just like say your name, just like I'm good. Because like I said, confidence does huge in chess.
So, hi everyone, welcome to Jennifer Yu's webinar presented by Impact Chess. So first, I would just want to make a quick introduction on what Impact Chess is. We're a nonprofit that started in 2021, and we're really dedicated to bring the beautiful game of chess to all of our different communities nationwide, especially focusing towards younger students and senior citizens. We're really looking for any student volunteers, student leaders to join us because we have a lot of things to do, and we would love if we had more members to kind of drive our organization. So that is Impact Chess. I'll talk more about it later on at the end of the session. But we're so lucky to have WGM Jennifer Yu here today to give a lecture. Jennifer is currently attending Harvard in the class of 2025 wait, no, not 2025. 2025. Sorry. And she was the former US women's chess champion. In addition, obviously, she's a woman grandmaster, and she has recently also won the US Open Girls Tournament in a very clutch victory. If you guys don't know about that, you should search it up. It's kind of legendary. But yeah, we're so thankful to have Jennifer here, and Jennifer, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Eric. So I think I will, for like next like 10 or so minutes, just kind of give like a brief overview of like how my chess career started, some important moments during it, and also how like I dealt with it in relation to school, because like academics have always been like a big like huge importance to me, and also other extracurriculars. So it got kind of challenging. But so I learned how to play chess when I was like pretty young in chess club at school. I think I was like 5 or so, but my first tournament was when I was 7. So that's like when I really started playing, because I didn't really look at chess before then. But I wasn't like, I don't think I really was like a prodigy or anything. I don't think I was particularly good. My first tournament, I don't think it was rated, but my first tournament, I like lost it was only 4 rounds, and I lost all 3 games, so the first 3 games. And then like I like barely drew the last one. So that was like my beginnings into my chess career. But so chess was kind of like an extracurricular, just like one of the other extracurricular activities I did. Like I did competitive art for a while. I also did tennis, swimming, like ballet for a little bit. So I did a lot of different things, but so chess was kind of one of them. So for me, chess started becoming like more important after so I used to live in California. I grew up there, and then I moved to Virginia when I was like around when I was 9. And then a coach I had in California was like, oh, he told my parents that I was kind of talented and I should go to more tournaments. And that was kind of when I started playing more. And it was just that's when I started to see like a huge improvement within 1 year. I believe I went from like 1500 to 1900 1 year when I was around 9 or 10. So that was when, I played my first World Youth, and my parents realized, oh, I should spend more time on this because there's something here for me. So that's how I started getting more into chess. Okay, I have like some pictures if you guys want to see. Like a little overview. So I don't know, maybe this is good instead of me just talking the entire time. But yeah, this is me when I first started. And then so a really important thing for me throughout chess was also just like the social aspect of it with like my friends, because it was really encouraging, especially being a girl in chess. There wasn't as many, and like a lot of like these girls I grew up around, and was something I would look forward to in tournaments. So this here on the right was the 2013 World Youth, and I was really close to medaling at this tournament. I tied for bronze and ended up getting fourth, but like a lot of these girls in this picture are now like international masters, and also like it's kind of cool seeing growing up. But my real like first big chess breakthrough, which kind of made chess like the most important extracurricular activity I did, was when I was 12. I won World Youth for U12, and then after this, I kind of had to start figuring out like how to balance my schedule better. So I like I won't share this entire, but so I used to do a bunch of sports in middle school. Like I really like volleyball, but then I realized that's just not I can't like be competing in like and that throughout on the weekends when there were chess tournaments. So unfortunately I had to like drop things like that. So after this, I started putting a lot more time into chess, and played my first US championship like the next year pretty closely afterwards. So this is where it started getting pretty difficult, because I think my US championship was like when I was in middle school in 8th grade. But these kind of events are all like 2 weeks long, which really was kind of conflicting with like me in school. So I didn't do that well in my first US champs. I pretty sure I ended up last. So it was a really interesting experience. I was pretty young though, but so like some of the things I had to work out was I really wanted, so like ever since I was little, I wanted to go to like a top school, like a Ivy or something like that. So I always took like the highest level kind of classes I can. And then so in my area, when you there are a few options for high schools. You don't have to go to like uh your normal high school. Like there's also like I don't know if you guys have heard of Thomas Jefferson, which is in my area, which is one of the top public schools in the country. And also there's like my county's version of it, which was called Academy of Science. So both of these I tested into. So I was trying to make a decision of whether I wanted to go to like a really like a school that colleges kind of knew about, and that were both extremely like pretty like academically rigorous. So I actually ended up making the decision of staying at my base high school. And I did this for a few reasons, and I'm really happy I did this, because one of the major thing that like made me choose this was because of chess. Like TJ is obviously an amazing school, but it's a lot more difficult to miss like 2 weeks of school when I'm there. Also, the commute is pretty long for me, and that's the same thing for me at Academy of Science. They do like a lot of labs, which like it's very difficult to miss school. So I was really fortunate that my high school like really like supported me in my chess career. Like they like most of the teachers were supportive. Like I could like they would let me make up the school afterwards, make up the schoolwork I missed afterwards. So I kind of got experience doing this throughout all of high school, because I would usually miss around like I want to say like 4 weeks every year, 4 or 5 weeks, which was got kind of difficult. So uh so like I guess my next big chess breakthrough was in 2017. So this is when also classes were getting kind of more difficult because I was taking more AP classes. I went to the World Junior Tournament, World Junior Championships, and it was in Italy, and I ended up getting bronze, and my first IM norm. So this was kind of a breakthrough moment for me, because for a really long time I never thought about getting IM. Like I know at this tournament I didn't know what the rules for norm was, and honestly I was just really lucky because they just gave me the norm afterwards, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that I could get this. So this is what really made me start thinking about, oh, okay, I have the potential to become IM, and then maybe like even in the future GM. And I think this really got my like confidence up a bit, because like I never really appreciated like confidence in chess until now, especially because you can see in a lot of like games where like people just like play better than maybe their normal strength because they're like in playing well really well throughout the tournament. But yeah, so this event was kind of like gave me a little boost. I got my second IM norm immediately after this, like in my next tournament. So which is also surprising to me, because it was just like I was focused a lot on school. But but yeah, like I guess a huge difference between this and like the year before was like when I first entered high school, I knew like the workload would be bigger. But I really wanted to do a lot of extracurricular activities. So my freshman year, I kind of joined everything. I was on cross country, I did debate for a little bit of marching band. So it was all over the place. And I realized I can't do this if I'm missing like so much school. So especially for chess. So I kind of like laid off on all of those and just focused more on this. Um, and then yeah, so like I had like pretty good like results like once a year, I guess. Like my next big results was my third IM norm, which was my junior year of high school. So my junior year of high school was kind of crazy because I also went very hard into the APs. I think I had like an all AP or like college credit workload. So it was a lot. And also I missed 2 weeks of school in like the fall for the Olympiad and also 2 weeks of school in like the spring for the US championships. I guess I was really lucky that those were like both like two of my like best chess accomplishments, but it was definitely really difficult academic wise. So like looking back, I would have like dropped like one or two of those classes because for like instead, like for example, I took a push, which is pretty standard, but like for the class, like my class, it was a lot of work. Like maybe it was like 3 hours of like 2 or 3 hours of homework a night just for that one class, which was like all my time was on that. So in retrospect, I would have taken the dual enrollment history class instead, because that was like very similar, but like I would have saved so much time. So it was a lot of learning experience throughout the years with this kind of stuff. But it was just, yeah, so okay, I guess I can share. So this was the Olympiad. The Olympiad is currently going on right now. I'm not playing it because I'm not there in India, but yeah, this was I got my last IM norm here, but still need to get my rating up. And I also medaled at this tournament, which is really nice. And then my big uh, best accomplishment in my chess career was I won the US championships in the spring. So this was actually so difficult because after this I had to take the like AP exams like a couple weeks later, and it was just so much making up the work and then also doing this. But um yeah, it was definitely like an up and down kind of experience. Like I've like after the best accomplishment of my life, I had like one of the worst tournaments in the summer. Like it it was a US juniors. I like lost so many games. It was just really bad. But I really tried to like even with like the all the APs I was taking, try to put in at least like an hour a day for chess. Um, and it's not much, but like I feel like if you just have like a bit of a rhythm going on, it's easier to maintain. Because like in the beginning of my senior year, I was really trying to get back into chess, even though it was kind of difficult with college apps. So I had like a really weird schedule that was working, but I would wake up. So my high school started around 9:15, and I would wake up around like 6 and like look at chess for a bit, do like some homework, and then like go home, try to finish like all my homework before 7. And it was just I don't know how I did that because I don't think I can do that anymore, but I did that for a little bit. And then I got into college, which just kind and then COVID happened. So it was just kind of like took a break from then. So I just finished my freshman year of college, and this was like a really good experience. But I didn't do as much chess during the year. I actually didn't compete at all, just because it was like it was a pretty big transition, and I also took a gap year due to COVID. So so I was just so I decided to kind of just take it easy this year, and then I'm trying to get more into it. So I'm playing a bit this summer. But yeah, I guess that's like a brief overview of like my chess career and how I did it with school.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to have a quick little moderated Q&A with our team and Jennifer, and then afterwards we'll have the open audience Q&A. I guess I could start off with a question. So tell us the secret. What do you think is the best way to improve at chess?
So I have always been a person who just did a lot of puzzles. So like for many years, like I would just like, okay, I'm not afraid to say like my weakest part of my game is my opening. I feel like most of my opponents know that, so it's not like a secret. Um, but like the reason is because I just didn't find that interesting, but I feel like puzzles are always fun no matter what. And they're kind of like a foolproof way of like improving, because chess is mainly a pattern recognition game. So if you do stuff like this over and over, you know, you get new ideas, but and also like, you know, old patterns you can see quicker. So for like many years, when like between maybe up until like the age of 16, like all I did were like chess.com tactics. So I probably have like an insane number of hours for that, but I didn't really do that much else. So I do believe it's that.
Jennifer, thank you for like talking about your journey. It's extremely interesting to hear. I was wondering, other than your parents, who is a person who had a great impact on your chess journey and why?
Um, so I'm not sure if there's like one specific person that impacted me a lot, but I've had like a lot of great advice that like have made me think a lot. So like one of the best advice I got, this was when I was 12, during the time I was winning my World Youth um, chess tournament. So my coach at the time, Andrenic, he's from California, so some of you guys might know him. He like told me just, you know, focus on the game, move by move, game, and then game by game. And I think it really helped me a lot, just because, you know, I wasn't thinking as much about like the situation, even though like it was like the biggest tournament of my life at that point. And there was like I guess quite a bit of pressure on. So I think it also like helped me like just like over the last few years, just because I kind of love like high pressure situations. I usually do like play my best chess in. So, you know, the playoff that Eric was talking about for youth juniors, I love that kind of thing. And I think like this kind of just helped me because I'm not thinking too much about the result. Um, Also, someone told me, you know, to go into every game and just be like, you know, I am Jennifer Yu, or just like say your name, just like I'm good. Because like I said, confidence does huge in chess, even though like I'm a very streaky player too. So like when I play really good well in tournament, I like have a great tournament. When I don't do so well in tournament, like it just the whole thing's bad. So I think confidence is just really important.
Awesome. I think Tiana had a question.
Yeah, have you ever had any periods of times, like long periods of times where you've plateaued and sort of stopped improving? And how did you get past those?
So that's a great question, because I would say that I've been in a long period of plateau over the last few years. So I got my last I am norm almost 4 years ago. So now I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6. So but still not I am yet. So the thing is, I think like I am a much better chess player than I was 4 years ago. But it hasn't really, like my rating hasn't really showed that, just because I am very inconsistent. Like my rating shoots up and then it immediately goes down. It's like very up and down over the last few years. Um, so I think it's just knowing when to like when you're playing well, just play more tournaments. And if you're not playing so well, it's okay to kind of just take a little break from chess. Because that was something like I kind of struggled on, because I had one summer where I just wanted to, you know, get my rating up. And then I just ended up like playing like every tournament was just like worse than the other, because I was like so focused on trying to get my rating up. Which is also like kind of what I talked about before. Like you shouldn't like focus on that. I think like makes it a lot more difficult on yourself.
Thank you.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm Rianne. I was wondering, like, because you kind of already covered it, but like, how much time would you like dedicate like to schoolwork when you're at like a chess tournament, or have you like ever had to do like schoolwork when you're playing like a huge international tournament? How did you like manage it all?
Yeah, so since like throughout all of high school, I missed a lot of school. I always did my schoolwork during these tournaments, just because like it's just, I don't think it's like possible to like make up all of it at the end. So I think it actually kind of helped me a bit, because you're not always focused on chess like during tournament. Like it's good to like take a little break, even if it's like doing homework. But yeah, so I would like try to be like as efficient as possible like at school. Like I used to do like a lot of homework for like other classes, um and so I would do my homework for other classes when I'm in class, and things like that. But I think like it was definitely just like a trial and error kind of situation. So I'm about to, try this again because I plan on playing the US championships this year, and it's almost 3 weeks in October, which is also during midterm. So we'll see how that goes, but I really want to play it. But yeah.
Hey Jennifer, I have a question. So, how would you describe the people you met in chess?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How would you describe the people you've met in chess?
Okay, so I'm really grateful for like because I met so many interesting people like just growing up playing chess. Like I had like a lot of friends just from my area who I saw a lot. And I think it's really cool that like I know people from like all around the world because of this. And since now a lot of my friends are like in college, it's like I think also chess has helped us with that too. Cause like a lot of my friends are like who like spent a lot of time on chess are also, at good colleges, but they also spent a lot of time in school. But I'm definitely like really grateful because like I would not have met like so many interesting people without it.
So earlier in your speech or in your presentation, you mentioned like having this sort of like community of people in your world youth, and I think that's one of the great things about chess. There's a lot more to chess than just tournaments and competitions. It like you have a community of people that are united over a common interest. So I was wondering, how have you used chess to like reach new people and like form new connections? And can you touch a bit upon this?
So I think chess is definitely useful for like making connections because like it doesn't even have to be like people who like play competitively. Now, especially chess is so popular like over the last few due to like the boom over the last few years because of Queen's Gambit, and like there was like a lot of like things on YouTube and Twitch. That now just like a lot of people who I know from at like Harvard who are interested in chess. And then so like sometimes they reach out, they're like talk about this, and then it helps in other ways, like maybe you're in different organizations, but I think it's definitely something that like brings a lot of people together. And like it was just also like yeah, I think it's just like very like you would be surprised to find like the amount of people who don't play competitively but are really interested in it. And then so they hear about you and they want to like meet you, and it just opens up a lot of doors.
That's great. I think Joanna had a question.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part about chess?
Okay, so I guess I would say it's really nice that it's, you know, a game is just like a game. Like once you're finished with it, no matter how badly you played, you can still start the next game, like brand new. Because I think it's like, that's kind of what makes it fun. Like I've definitely had like some really horrible games and then like come back like the next round. And it's also good to just like I think it's like a very objective game. Like a lot of other sports and things, like it's not so easy to see like tell like who is better than who. But like in chess, if you beat someone, you beat them. So yeah.
I have another question. So if you have the chance to talk to Jennifer when she was 1,000 rated, what would you say to her to maybe inspire her, or I don't know, to help her on her journey?
Um, I think I would have just told myself like if you want to become a GM, you can. Because the thing is, I think like that's like I mentioned before, like confidence is such a big issue for me. Like something I still deal with because I'm like for a long time, especially I had really bad imposter syndrome in chess. Like I would win a tournament and I'm like, I got lucky, I won, which I feel like for most of the tournaments I talk about, I feel like that, I got lucky, I won, or I got lucky, I played well. So I think I should have like I regret like not telling my younger self, if you really want this, you can do it. And also for a long time, I had a very complicated relationship with chess. Like sometimes I like didn't really want to play. Like I didn't like to practice. I still don't really like to practice because it's like work. But it's just, if I want to get better, I have to do that. And I think that's also like a reason of like the plateau is, I relied on like, I don't know whether it's like talent or like some luck to get me to some places. And it's like, you just need to put more work to get in.
I have a question. What part of chess correlates to your everyday life? And what aspect of chess do you think is the most important that you should take away into your everyday life?
So like when I was really young, like my parents told me to play chess, not because like I guess my dad would still say that he didn't think I was like, oh, it's because you're gonna be really good at it. It was to teach me life lessons. So like I talked about like being under pressure a little while ago, and I think like being constantly like kind of tested in these situations over the years have definitely helped me like academically, because I'm not like I'm like the kind of person where if I take practice tests, well, this is true, when I took practice tests for SAT, I like do better on the actual one, or like almost like most tests, like if I have like an important test, I usually like perform better. So I think that was just kind of like it really helped because I had that kind of experience. Also just like there like I feel like a lot of reasons like a lot of good chess players that also did like really well in school was because it is like discipline, like you have to put in like certain times of training and like practice, and like just the way you're thinking um translates pretty well. Okay, I heard like a lot of people say that like coding is like similar to chess. I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah.
Okay, and one of our members who can't be with us today because she's in Serbia and it's like 2:30 right now is Rochelle. She wanted to ask you, other than Rochelle, who is your favorite chess player?
Rochelle is like my little sister, but I think like it's really cheap to say Magnus, but I really like Magnus. But I think like there's always like a lot of like, it's so hard for me to answer this because I don't have like just one specific player, but I really like Bobby Fischer, for example. Like I think his, he has really creative games and like came up with a lot of like novel ideas. So I guess maybe that, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. I think we're gonna open it up for the audience now. So if anyone in the audience has any questions, type in the chat and then we can kind of help moderate that. And also if you want to unmute yourself, you can just raise your hand and we'll help unmute you. So we can just start looking at questions because there's already a lot of questions in the chat.
A few moments later.
I think a very important question is, what do you think parents' roles should be in their kids' chess journey?
Yeah, so this is definitely very tricky. But I think like it's like really easy for parents to get like too caught up, I think, in a lot of kids like chess. So I think it's like important for like parents to like definitely like play this like be very supportive. So for a long time, like I mentioned earlier, like I wasn't so sure like if I want to play chess. Like I considered quitting multiple times in middle school, like or like all the time, because it was just like, do I really want to do this? And then a lot of times it's like, oh, like I get this is the thing I get the most results out of, I should continue. But it was always like a thing I wasn't so sure about like for a couple years there. So I'm really grateful that my parents did like tell me, oh, you should play these tournaments, blah, blah, blah. And then because at some point I just became, now I'm like completely self-motivated. So I think that's like really important. Yeah, also like just parents don't get too mad when your kids mess up, because I see that too much.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it today. If we didn't get to your question, super sorry about that, but we're going to have more opportunities in the future. We're planning some other great chess players to give presentations as well. So be on the lookout for that. So, thank you, Jennifer, so much for coming and giving us this talk. Again, we are Impact Chess. We have an event coming up that is at the park. So if you live near New Jersey, we have Chess in the Park coming up. This is the registration form for that. If you don't live in New Jersey and you would like to join our team, we have a very easy button right here to apply for a leadership position at Impact Chess. And actually Jennifer is an advisor of our group. So yeah, just keep in contact with us by signing up for this webinar. You sign up for the email list. So we're going to send you emails in the future. If you would like to unsubscribe, just email us. No hard feelings. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming, for everyone. And thank you so much, Jennifer. Have a good night.